And we're on. Hey guys, it's Tarkon again. I want to talk today about affirmations. This is a topic that a lot of people are interested in. And of course, what you hear a lot of times is that there's a right way and a wrong way to do them, right? I want to talk a little bit about the correct way to use affirmations, because there is a correct way. I don't think that there's really necessarily an incorrect way. I think affirmations are helpful all around, no matter really how you do them, right? But there are some ways, and are some very important points about affirmations that you need to know in order to make them the most effective. I personally really like affirmations because I'm more of a sort of an audio person. So if you are more of a visual person, you might want to use visualization more often rather than affirmations. But affirmations really work for me because when I hear things, and especially when I hear my own voice saying things back to myself, it has a very powerful impact on my mind, my subconscious, and my overall emotional response, which of course translates to my vibrational response to things. So they tend to really ramp up my level of vibration and my level of my emotional state. And so I try to use them throughout the day. And one of the things that's very important about them, of course, is that you use your own, right? It's easy to go to a website or a video or a book and have someone tell you, these are very effective affirmations, you should repeat these every day. And often what you find is, though, that you'll read them and they're not really, they seem to lack that sort of oomph, right? You kind of read them, repeat them like a robot, like a drone, right? That's something you want to avoid. You want to use affirmations that are going to really have an emotional impact on you as you say them and hear them back, right? Which is why it's important to use your own words, your own language, your own voice. I think that's very critical. So you want to play around with this a little bit. Get yourself a piece of paper or a notebook and play around. Write a few down and just see how they feel, right? This is very important also for list making, when you're kind of listing things that you want to manifest, your desires, right? So you want to make sure that the ones you use have a real emotional impact on you. That means, you get that rising in your chest, right? That feeling in the pit of your stomach that kind of makes you excited a little bit, like, yeah, that sounds great, right? And so, maybe write down a whole bunch of them that you can think of on any subject, really. I mean, maybe you want to focus on money or relationships or whatever, but any subject that really comes to your mind, I would just do that first, and then go back over the list. So in other words, brainstorm. Just do that like mental diarrhea thing, and then go back over the list, and then sort of put like a mark out the ones that really seem to have an emotional impact on you, and the ones that don't, leave those out, right? Because you want to get it down to maybe like 5 that are going to really ramp you up, right? That you're going to repeat daily to yourself and out loud, which I recommend, so that you have a set of like 5 of them that you're going to use on a regular basis, and then you don't even worry about any others. All right, so that's the first thing I would do. The second thing is to, this was a point I just mentioned, which is to use your own voice. This is important because I have gone to YouTube, for instance, and I've found sort of affirmations that have worked for me, that have helped, but they tend to be in somebody else's voice, or my favorite, that robot voice. Can't stand that stuff. Anyway, I think it's very important and much more impactful if you are using your own voice. And now you can do, for instance, you can just repeat it out loud to yourself when you're alone sometime. But if you don't have much of a chance to be alone, you got a busy lifestyle or something like that, or you have a big family, live with a lot of people, sometimes that's not convenient. What I find is helpful if I do it in the car, right? If you have a car and you find yourself in traffic a lot of the time, that's a great time to repeat affirmations. But another thing, here's something I like to do, is I like to record my affirmations in my own voice, very calmly, very slowly, with a smile on my face. Because when you smile, and when you hear the recording back, you're not going to see yourself smiling, but you can hear when somebody's smiling, right? As they're speaking. There's just something about the voice, the tone, right? So make sure you have a big smile on your face as you're talking, as you're recording them. And then just record them, and then you can use that as an MP3, put it on your phone or something, and you can listen to that on your headphones throughout the day as you're doing whatever. You're jogging, maybe you like to jog, or again, you put it in the car stereo or something like that as you're driving to work, to and from work. And I find that is very helpful for me. And basically that to me has the same effect as if I'm actually speaking them out loud, because it's my own voice, right? So that's a second thing I would recommend, right? And I know there's a third thing. There's another thing I was going to say. But those are really the two major things. Really spend some time finding the ones that work for you. I wouldn't go for more than 5, honestly, right? And then speak them out loud or record them. Better yet, record them in your own voice. Put that little recording on your phone so you have access to it, right? I put it on my phone. I mean, everyone has a phone now, right? Everyone has a smartphone now. I mean, I got mine wherever I go. You probably take yours wherever you go too. So that should make it very convenient, And I don't know what that was. Also, and this goes without saying, I'm sure you've heard this from many other sources, is to use the present tense when you're writing these affirmations. You don't want to be talking about, I'm going to be rich. I'm going to be in that relationship with so-and-so. You want to be saying, I am rich. I am in a relationship with so-and-so. My relationship with so-and-so is the best relationship I've ever had. Things like that. Now, here's a little caveat, because this can actually be difficult for people, because if you're in a sort of state where you're still struggling with building faith and belief and expectation for your desire to manifest, you want to ramp that I am thing back a little bit, because that can actually kind of thwart your vibrational state a little bit, right? What a lot of people who are struggling with faith still find easier to do, rather than saying, I am wealthy, I am in a healthy, loving relationship, is to rather say, I am becoming wealthy. Not I will become wealthy, I am becoming wealthy, or I am in the process of attracting great wealth into my life. I am in the process of attracting that person I want in my life. That actually gives you a little bit of leeway, right? Because it doesn't quite force you to believe right away that you are these things, right? If you're not feeling wealthy, you're not saying that I am wealthy is not going to really have much of an impact on you. In fact, it could be counterproductive. So you want to avoid it at that point. It helps to say I am when you already have a high level and a high degree of belief and faith in this process, right? Then the I am statements can really ramp it up. But if you're still struggling with that, I would recommend that you go to saying, I am in the process of becoming what I want to be, or I am in the process of attracting what I want to attract. That's something that's helped me quite a bit. It seems like a small difference, but it can make a huge difference in terms of your result. Your result being, by the way, that you continuously, consistently, on a daily basis, talk yourself into a better feeling state, a more expectant state, a more faithful state. That's what these things are for. Okay, affirmations themselves are not going to give you what you want. They're not magic attraction tools. All of these tools are there to help you work on your emotional state and your vibrational state so that you can attract. Basically, you're opening the door up to receive the things that are actually already lined up for you, right? So that's very important. Okay, if you're finding difficulty believing I am statements, then ramp them back. You know, pull back a little bit and make statements like I am becoming, I am in the process of, right? Or one of my favorites is I am so looking forward to, right? That's a big one that works very well for me. And what happens when I say I am looking forward to, or I'm really looking forward to such and such, I get that real expectant kind of feeling in my chest, right? There's that rise, like, ooh, yeah, that's nice. It's kind of like saying, ooh, like when you're a kid, you know, when am I going to get under the Christmas tree, or my birthday's coming up. I'm excited about what I'm going to get, right? That's the kind of feeling you want to go for. That expectant, excited feeling that you used to get as a child, right? That's what all this stuff is about. This is about having fun. So many times we forget to have fun with this stuff, and that's the most important part. Creating is fun. It's supposed to be fun, right? It's not supposed to be hard work. If anything you're doing feels like hard work for you, then you need to readjust it in some way. You need to find a way to make it, to be playful about it, right? Same goes for visualizing. These things should be fun for you. Visualization should be fun. Often people, same with affirmations, they tend to do these processes and these techniques from the point of view of, oh, I have to do this today, or I won't get what I want. That's not how it works, okay? You want things to be fun. If something isn't fun, stop doing it and go do something that is fun. Even if the thing that you're going to do that is fun has nothing to do with what you want to manifest. The point is to have fun all the time, to enjoy life, and to enjoy whatever you're doing. Stop doing things that aren't fun. All right. And that's about it so far. If I think of anything else, I'm going to touch on this topic again in a future video, because I think there's so many layers to it. But the three main things I wanted to get across today were those three things. Find affirmations that work for you, that really give you a high emotional rise. Use those only. Record them in your own voice. That really helps for me. You don't have to do that, by the way, but it helps for me. Use I am statements only if you really believe, you can really get yourself to believe the I am statements. Otherwise, use statements like I am in the process of becoming, I am looking forward to such and such, right? Yeah, and that's about it so far. I hope everybody is having a great start of their week out there. I'm getting a few views here and there. I trust that the right people are going to find this channel. I'm going to just keep making videos regardless. And for those of you who are watching who have any questions, I would love it if you, and I put this down in the description for every video now, there's an email address where you can reach me with your questions. And I would love to answer any of them as best as I can, and I will do those in future videos too, right? I mean, I'll address your questions via email in future videos. I think that would be a lot of fun. Also, don't forget to hit subscribe and hit like if you like the video, that is, or just hit like anyway. All right, guys, take care. Until next time, bye.